It would actually be quicker to name the games that aren't getting a live action or movie or TV show adaptation at this point. I think there's only like 5 games that have ever been made that you didn't just name.
Yeah, they really are just doing everything. I hope these all come out, and I hope they're of varying quality. That's the best I can ask for. Shifting gears, I want to talk a little bit about some of the upcoming shows that are being made. I feel like Amazon is kind of cornering the market on video game adaptations. Like Fallout's in its 2nd season. People seem to be into that pretty much. They definitely understood the assignment there. We also got our first look at Sophie Turner as Lara Croft. We also got the God of War casting, which is still a ways off, but Ryan Hurst is playing Kratos. And this is interesting because he already played a god in this universe. He played Thor in Ragnarok. Yeah. And yeah, what do you make of this?
I really liked him on Sons of Anarchy. I think he's a fantastic actor, and he killed it in Ragnarok. So that's funny, right? But I'm more like, how are you going to do the big fantasy elements on this show on a TV, right? Like, will they have the budget to do a 500-foot tall talking serpent, right? Mm-hmm. Like this is. Not to be reductive or undermine what Fallout's doing, because I think it's doing some really cool stuff, but it's a lot easier to shoot like post-apocalyptic wasteland than it is to do like a Norse fantasy setting, right? But then again, we'll see what they pull off. And I think you nailed it. Like something happened in the last 10 years where there was sort of just folks realized that like the comic book thing is only going to last so long. Let's start mining other source material, and they went after games. And we've gotten some misses, and we've gotten some hits, and we've gotten some things that were not necessarily the most critically acclaimed things, but did really well. Like we've gotten they're working on a second Minecraft movie. We've got another Mario movie this year. They made 2 Five Nights at Freddy's movies, and now a bunch of shows. And like we talked about Fallout, we talked about The Last of Us. I'm excited to see what Tomb Raider and God of War do. God of War especially. Tomb Raider is one of those things I've seen in various live action iterations before that I can sort of understand what they're going to do with that. God of War, to me, I'm like, man, I have no idea how this is going to play out, right? And I'm hoping they don't pull a Last of Us and just simply adapt the first game, because I think that like we all go back and look at The Last of Us season 1, and everyone's favorite parts are largely the ones that were additive to the source material and not just
I don't think they will.
You don't think they will?
I don't think so.
I hope you're right.
I don't think it works like structurally as a show, because so much of it is just this sort of intimate thing where you're with Kratos and Atreus, and also the fact that they're announcing that Thor's a main character, or he's mm-hmm. What am I saying? He's not. He's the actor. What am I saying? They did announce casting for Sif, who's Thor's wife, who is being played by Teresa Palmer, who just got announced like shortly after they announced Kratos. Okay. So like. Yeah, they're zeroing in on who they want to play these characters, but like she's not like is she even in the first game? I don't think so.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I can't recall, but I get the feeling that they're definitely going to try to make it like, let's, Kratos is going to be the centerpiece here, but there's going to be other characters with their own stories to tell. And I think it's the showrunners, Ronald D. Moore, who worked on Battlestar Galactica and Outlander and For All Mankind. And I just don't think, I think for a video game, when you're controlling a protagonist, it makes sense to have like one character who's kind of the central linchpin. For a show, I think you need to keep it interesting by having different people to focus on. To flesh out different people in this universe. Yeah, I think my worst fear here is that they try to Game of Thrones it too much and make it a lot of talking. Which again, that's how you tell a story. You can always show, don't tell. But I think for the sake of this, I think there's going to be some scenery chewing and some monologues and stuff, which you have to do to make it a show rather than like a action-packed 90-minute movie. And there's going to be epic set pieces and monsters and all that. But I worry that for what people want from this series, from this franchise, which is historically action first, like it's about punching a bunch of big stuff in the face and ripping its head off, and we're going to get that for sure. But I think there's going to be some, chatting to kind of pad out the stuff in between, because you can't just have an hour of that every week for eight hours in a row. Like it's
I agree. I totally agree. I don't know, like the modern Ragnarok, I don't think is as strong, but the previous one is, I think, like one of the most effective video game stories of all time. I was straight up crying when I was rolling credits on that game. And I think it's really special and really magical and, shockingly tender for a game about a guy who punches through treasure chests. And I loved that. And I remember I had I have a dad that's he was kind of tough and, standoffish and stuff like that. And, not necessarily open with his emotions and stuff like that. He's not like a big soft baby like we are with our kids. And so that, a lot of that resonated with me. Right. And I'm hoping that there's enough new surprise in the show that I'll find new reasons to tear up, because I think that finding that balance of action and a tender story is really what these games, the modern ones specifically, are known for me. And I think there's a great opportunity to really do that. I'm just fascinated to see how it looks, how the CG is. That's going to be kind of make it or break it for I think a lot of people. So optimistic.
Yeah, well, it's one of many TV shows currently in the works. There's Fallout Season 2 is currently airing. There is a Devil May Cry anime, Season 2 of that. There's Last of Us Season 3. There's the Ghost of Tsushima anime. There's more Witcher. There's God of War. There's Far Cry. There's Mass Effect. There's the live-action Tomb Raider.
Wasn't there there's a Ghost of Tsushima movie too, right?
Yes, I'll do movies in a second. There's a lot of these. There's Beyond Two Souls. There's Gears of War, Assassin's Creed, Splinter Cell, Death Watch, and an Overcooked reality TV show. They also announced that they're doing not a Fallout show, but a Fallout Shelter show, which is being produced. I think it's the same people that did the actual Squid Game show. But it's the same production company that did The Traitors, which is a...
Isn't the Overcooked show, that's A24's first reality TV show, right?
I'm excited. I don't know.
Sure, why not?
I hope they have people wearing the stupid costumes and trying to cook.
I want to see the Safdie brothers burn a kitchen down.
Let's do it. On the movie front, we've got Return to Silent Hill, which comes out on January 26th. There's the Super Mario Galaxy movie on April 3rd.
What?
Yeah.
What? Return to Silent Hill comes out next week?
Yeah. Yeah, it does. Don't get too excited. It's the guy who directed the first one, I think. Yeah. We'll see.
The first one's got some cool stuff in it.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes. Super Mario Galaxy on April 3rd. Mortal Kombat 2 on May 15th. Resident Evil on September 18th. I didn't realize that was so close. I cannot wait to see that. That's the Zach Krager one who did Weapons and Barbarian.
What is that?
What's that?
That's this summer?
That is September 18th.
Oh, September. Interesting. And then, because they were shooting that towards the end of the year.
That's right. We got set photos and everything, and then we got Street Fighter, which I'm like that, and Mortal Kombat 2. I'm gonna turn off my brain. I'm gonna get hit over the head before I go in there. I'm so excited to just yell at these goofy characters punched each other in the head. It's gonna be a good time. There's the Angry Birds movie 3 is coming out on January 29th.
Angry Movie 3.
Angry Movie 3. Yeah, for Angry Birds fans out there who is still into that universe, that's coming out in next January. The one 2027.
Before you see that, make sure you see Hitchcock's The Birds, because there's a lot of crossover. I couldn't get through that. Sorry.
There is the Zelda movie on May 7th, 2027. There's a Minecraft movie 2 on July 23rd, 2027. And then, rapid fire, there's Five Nights at Freddy's 3, Elden Ring, Call of Duty, Claire Obscure Expedition 33, Ghost of Tsushima, that is the Chad Stahelski John Wick guy who's doing that.
Yeah.
It's been getting kicked around for a while. Horizon Zero Dawn, we'll see. Grow a Garden from Roblox, that's apparently got option. There's Helldivers 2, there's The Sims, there's Martha is Dead, there's Riders Republic. Remember Riders Republic? That snowboarding game? That's apparently getting a okay. I like how like Sony's over here being like, all right, let's put some thought in, and Ubisoft is like, Werewolf Within, make a movie out of it. A VR game we made based on a
Riders Republic.
Yeah, Riders Republic, which was it was like you could ride a bike
Patrol 2 or whatever.
I don't know. Whatever. So Gears of War, also that's been talked about, a movie forever. We'll see. Sleeping Dogs, Simu Liu's been kicking that one around. I hope that actually happens. Phasmophobia, Death Stranding. A24 is apparently doing that one too. Death Stranding Mosquito, that's the weird anime that they showed off footage for, which is getting kicked around. There's Days Gone as a movie. There's that. There's Dredge, which is that Lovecraftian fishing game. I don't know how that works, but I would watch a movie based on that.
Sure, yeah.
Pokemon Detective Pikachu 2. I would like to see this. I hope that the Squirtle Squad is the main antagonist in it. I think that would be cool. Also, I feel like you could just do Pokemon : some other job title, like Eevee, marriage counselor. It doesn't have to be Detective Pikachu. I think it could be anything else,
Yes.
Yeah, Gengar, professional matchmaker. Just get any funny animal thing and then give it a job. That's all you need to do. And people are going to go see, put Pokemon in the beginning there, people go see the movie. It's fine. Stray, speaking of funny animals, that dystopian cat film. Did you see that movie? What's it called? Float, I think? No. Was it
the one, yes, I didn't watch it, but I know what you're talking about.
It was a CG cat movie. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It was nice. It was cool, but I felt crazy watching it because for so long, I've been playing video games and I'm like, this video game ripped off this movie. That is the first time I've watched a movie. And I'm like, this just feels like they ripped off a couple of indie games. Yeah. It just feels like a game that, anyway, BioShock, that's supposedly been getting a thing forever. El Paso Elsewhere, that got option to a movie right out the gate. Split Fiction. You have to go see it with a friend. You buy one movie ticket, but you can bring a friend. That's how that's going to work. That's not true. I made that up. Space Channel 5, because they don't have anything else going. We're going to get a Space Channel 5.
Sure.
Comix Zone. The Sega Genesis beat 'em up where you're a guy with a ponytail who fights his way through a bunch of comic panels. That's going to get a movie. Yeah. And finally, Watch Dogs, which might...
Okay.
Yeah. Those are ones that are... I guess TBA, and then there's other ones that have been announced that are just status. Those are the ones that are like, they're like, this is still, there's still signs of life here. We have not, declared them legally dead. On the announced front, I'm gonna do this really fast. Mega Man, Just Cause, Duke Nukem, Gravity Rush, which we did see a screenshot from at CES 2 years ago, so no idea what's going on there. Dead by Daylight, It Takes Two, Sifu, Slime Rancher, Ark Survival Evolved, Pac-Man, Streets of Rage, Sniper Elite, Toe Jam and Earl, Jak and Daxter, Half-Life, Saints Row, Portal, Yakuza, I did get a show recently, Beyond Good and Evil, Firewatch, Metal Gear Solid, The Division, Just Dance, and Dragon's Lair. I'm gonna go see the Just Dance movie. I don't know about you, I cannot wait to see that. That's gonna be again,
Dragon's Lair is already a movie, basically.
Pretty much. Just stitch that together.
Did you say Pac-Man?
Pac-Man.
They just threw Pac-Man in there?
They just got a Pac-Man movie. Got to go see it. Got to pack those theaters. Yep. And then on the TV show front, there's also Horizon Zero Dawn. That got kicked around forever. I think they got the plug pulled. Who knows what's going on there. There's a Plague Tale. There's Nier Automata Season 2. I guess that got an anime already. I can't even keep track. Disco Elysium, Hunt Showdown, Alan Wake, System Shock, Grounded, Life is Strange, My Friend Pedro, and Skull and Bones. So in case we don't have enough time being spent waiting around for video games to come out, there's also all these shows that they're making and movies. So I don't know. That's just something else to look forward to.
It would actually be quicker to name the games that aren't getting a live action or movie or TV show adaptation at this point. Fortnite. I think there's only like 5 games that have ever been made that you didn't just name.
Yeah, they really are just doing everything. I hope these all come out, and I hope they're of varying quality. That's the best I can ask for.
Hey, thanks for watching this clip from Beyond, IGN's weekly PlayStation show. You can find the full episode over on youtube.com/IGN Games. And don't forget, new episodes of Beyond drop every Wednesday on IGN.com, the IGN Games YouTube, and all your favorite podcast platforms. Thanks again for watching, and as always, Beyond.